The 5WAY Battle of God Valley is finally revealed. One Piece Chapter 1160 is packed with full spoilers. This chapter might finally reveal the true identity of Joy Boy, setting the stage for the most legendary battle in One Piece's history. The chapter is a whopping 17 pages long. It's finally here. In Volume 42 of the Oni Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, we witness Yamato's visit to Odin's shrine located above the Flower Capital. Could Davy D. Jones be the Buccaneer Joy Boy? The chapter picks up where the last one left off, with the Master of Ceremonies among the Celestial Dragons introducing around 9 members of the Davy clan to the stage. Young Teach and his mother are among them. Teach's mother bears a striking resemblance to Nico Robin and her mother, Alvia, except for her messy light-colored hair. This similarity raises questions about Robin's possible ties to God Valley. Considering the erasure of God Valley from history, it's plausible that Blackbeard might find a kindred spirit in Robin somehow. 2 of the Davy men among them are quite imposing. Garling and Saturn stand together, which makes sense considering Garling is the commander of the Knights of God. The Celestial Dragons in the audience jeer and hurl knives and axes at the Davy clan slaves, calling them a despised lineage. One of the Celestial Dragons even suggests that the Davy clan might be buccaneers themselves. With 2 large men present and Blackbeard's unique biology, this revelation seems almost certain. While Kid Teach looks terrified, his mother bravely protects him from the thrown objects. The Master of Ceremonies warns them that there will be penalties for killing the rabbits. Imagine the value of a human life is on the line, depending on their point value for a game. This is a less fashionable version of Squid Games, anyway. Saturn praises Garling for finding the Davy clan, and we see that unlike his older self, Garling is more respectful here, saying that it was fate that he found them. Indeed, Shanks is a child of fate, and Garling found the Davy clan here. Is it also possible that Garling actually had a child with a Davy clan member after all? It is one thing that Garling killed the woman because of her low status, but what if he is hiding a bigger societal shame of having relations with a Davy woman? Perhaps this is all the work of fate in the Island of Fate. The Straw Hat culture, one of the large Buccaneer Davy clan members, was shown wearing a straw hat. A large straw hat, just like the frozen one found in Mary Geos, kept frozen by Emu. We discussed a bit about the possibility of Davy Jones being Joy Boy in the spoiler clarifications, but now we have a lot more proof here. First, we must consider that we have almost undeniable proof that, at the very least, Joy Boy was a Buccaneer. In Emmett's flashback, we see that Joy Boy was smaller than the Iron Giant, who was around the size of an ancient giant. When compared to Luffy, Joy Boy was clearly much bigger than Luffy. Of course, there are large humans like Whitebeard and Big Mom. However, the association between the Buccaneer race and high crimes, as seen in the gargantuan, island-bearing elephant Zanesh's penance, suggests that Joy Boy might be the reason behind the Buccaneer race's condemnation. The straw hat is recognized by the audience as a symbol of resistance unknown to the oppressors, similar to the One Piece flag used in real life. Reversi is principal like Loki and Rocks. Oda is performing a brilliant level of inversion for the story. The most wicked villains with heinous crimes actually didn't go that far or without care. Both men follow a ruthless philosophy of might makes right, but they also have the capacity to care for others. Rox sacrifices himself for his wife and son. Elbaf seems to revolve around role reversal. The literal Domi Reversi, ability who uses on the giants to turn them into demon giants, along with Loki and Rox being the most hated villains of Elbaf and the world, respectively becoming the saviors of their specific situations. Davy Jones is said to be a wicked pirate cursed to wander the depths of the sea, collecting ships and anything he finds below the surface. This curse by the sea makes him a devil hated by the sea. However, Imu, the user, ironically praises demons as the ultimate life form. Ironically, Imu also fears the D, a devil like Davy and Joy Boy, and does everything to suppress their religious ideology of freedom, the sun god Nika. With Loki's character in the Elbaf arc, we might witness the union of these seemingly opposing branches, akin to an ecumenism akin to One Piece's secret religion. Bartholomew Kuma, a priest of Joy Boy serving the Sorbet Kingdom, held three distinct offices: priest, prophet, and king. In a literal sense, he served as a priest, healing the sick. As a prophet, he joined the revolutionaries. And as a king, he ruled the Sorbet Kingdom for a time. Here we have Blackbeard, the heir of Xebec and Davy Jones' ideology. Two distant relatives of the same buccaneer race, despite their different sources of belief in fate, might have shared the same belief all along. However, there are also fans who refuse to acknowledge Joy Boy as the same person as the ancestor of Blackbeard's killer. The answer lies in the same clue that could confirm Jones is Joy Boy, the buccaneer with the straw hat. Wearing a straw hat by one buccaneer could represent a hidden counterculture within the Davy clan. After all, Xebec identifies himself as a worshiper of Davy Jones, his ancestor. What if the straw hat wearer worships Joy Boy or even sun god Nika? By wearing the straw hat, they would stand out from the rest of their crew, while simultaneously exposing the celestial dragons to their most feared enemy. Being Davy and being Buccaneer are considered two distinct entities. In Kuma's flashback, the Buccaneer race was condemned for committing heinous crimes, likely due to their association with Joy Boy. Here, the Davy clan is condemned. This presents both an argument and a counter-argument. The argument suggests that Joy Boy and Jones are the same person, explaining why both the clan and race are condemned. The counter-argument, on the other hand, aims to distinguish between the two classes. However, it's important to note that not all Davy clan members are confirmed Buccaneers, and not all Buccaneers are exclusively from the Davy clan. For instance, it's most likely confirmed that Blackbeard and Xebec are Buccaneers because of their unique bodies, similar to Kuma. After all, where else did Blackbeard obtain his body if not from his powerful father? Jaguar D. Sol, while not a giant of Elbaf, moved there after surviving the O'Hara incident 22 years ago. He viewed the Elbaf warriors as barbarians. Perhaps a similar schism exists within the Buccaneer race. The Bartholomew family worships Nika, while the Davy or Rocks family worships Davy Jones. However, it's worth remembering Elbaf's mythos revolves around the question of whether Nika is a liberator or destroyer. Luffy's path demonstrates that he is both, albeit not in the most straightforward manner. He destroys to liberate from the broken system, but he liberates by his own will and not for some grander cause or fate. This central question to Elbaf's themes resonates not only with Loki and Xebec, but even with Joy Boy. What if Davy D. Jones, the devil and destroyer of the system, is actually Joy Boy, the dawn and liberator? God's loyal blade, we dedicate 5 full pages to the atrocities committed in God Valley. We witness Shanks and Shamrock's mother bidding farewell to Dragon. She expresses her inability to survive, but prays for her children to be raised by someone with a warm heart. She implores Dragon not to let Garling, their father, have the boys. Tragically, she dies without us ever seeing her face, just like how the boys will never know their mother's face. Dragon expresses his desire to save the children, or he would not live with himself. Indeed, one part of this promise is fulfilled. Shanks is adopted by the kind-hearted Joel D. Roger and his crew. Dragon eventually places one of the boys in the chest, while Garling battles the Rocks pirates. However, Shamrock is ultimately returned to his father, reflecting his younger, more ruthless self. We return to the tournament, where the announcer announces the 13 super rare rabbits worth 10,000 points including Teach, his mother, and 9 other members of the Davy clan. There are 150 rare rabbits, and the announcer grants the citizens an hour head start to run. One of the super rare rabbits is the young buccaneer Kuma himself, who is also participating in the race. Citizens debate whether they should survive the 3 weeks or attempt to escape. Both routes lead to death, regardless of the choice. A woman pleads with the celestial dragons to spare her husband's life. One family hides behind rocks, but their baby cries, leading one celestial dragon to shoot them dead. Meanwhile, the celestial dragons, still on Mary Geos, watch the tournament from large screens using projection Den Mushy. Garling flexes, attracting the swooning female celestial dragons, just like he did in Chapter 1096. 2 celestial dragons mention Garling and Shepherd as the top contenders. A new celestial dragon family is introduced, the Bebeto family. This brings the total families revealed to 12 identified celestial dragon families, suggesting that we might have 12 of the first 20, including the Nefeltaris who left the Holy Land. We see Gunko appear, using her arrow Nomi to swiftly and easily kill runaway civilians. Her name here is God's loyal blade, Saint Gunko of the Man-Mayer family. This moniker could represent her strong connection to Imu, the god of this world. In Japanese, the kanji used for her moniker is a pawn that can sound like God's prisoner, reflecting Gunko's status as a pawn, a vessel to be possessed by Imu. The Marines seem enamored by Shaki's beauty, viewing Garling as the fated winner. The revolution has begun. A young, beardless Summers chases after it clings to a tree, kicking it to make him fall. He uses his IBA Nomi as a cushion when he does drop. The boy's father begs for the celestial dragon to spare him and rushes to catch him, but we don't see if they succeed. Summers, known for his penchant for creating tragic stories for his amusement, aligns with his twisted philosophy on love. Meanwhile, Dragon rushes into the native hunting tournament, fearing that his direct defiance of the celestial dragons will result in the death of his entire battalion for the insubordination of a single cadet. The Marines on his battalion ship are actively searching for him. As Dragon observes Kuma and Ivankov discussing their plan to escape the game, reminiscent of their conversation in Chapter 1096, he witnesses a celestial dragon about to execute Kuma for the 10,000 points. In a selfless act, Dragon intervenes, shooting the celestial dragon with a tranquilizer dart to save Kuma. This pivotal moment marks the beginning of a lifelong friendship between Dragon and Kuma, an alliance that Kuma might not have been aware of at the time. Suddenly, an explosion erupts on the south coast of the island, signaling the arrival of the players. The Rocks pirates finally make their way to God Valley, with this scene occurring before the one we witnessed in Chapter 1096. Kamachi. Achiku, who had previously avoided visiting God Valley, provides a rationale for his reluctance, claiming that he will safeguard the island and prevent any other pirates from entering Shaki's bar. However, last chapter revealed that Achiku was the traitor who betrayed Shaki to the Celestial Dragons. To quell the unrest among his rowdy crew, Zebek establishes their 3 primary objectives: Shaki, treasures, and devil fruits. They agree to split the loot fairly. Barbel inquires about the division of Shaki's possessions, given that she is a single woman. Shiki predicts that Shaki will likely fall for the person who assists her the most, leading to a competition for her rescue. Even Newgate, who claims to be doing it as a friend, expresses his willingness to let Shaki fall for him. Gloriosa contemplates whether Roger will thank her if she rescues Shaki, which makes her appear ungrateful since Shaki is her friend and she cried when she was kidnapped. However, she is saying this in front of the ruthless Rocks pirates, so this is not her primary motivation. Meanwhile, Linlin and Kaido are preoccupied with devil fruits, with Kaido revealing that Linlin had actually promised him one. This flashback further strengthens their sibling-like bond as Kaido behaves like a little brother, begging for favors from Lin Lin and Newgate. However, more trouble arises in the form of the Roger Pirates, who appear in a scene that takes place after their introduction in 1096. Roger commands his men to retrieve the treasures while he goes after Shaki, but instead, they trample on him and take care of the rescue. The Marines perceive this as the end of the world, as two of the most notorious pirate crews have appeared. Amidst the chaos, Dragon manages to rescue the twin babies and is surprised to find that they are not crying when they wake up. It seems that Garling was too preoccupied to ensure the care of his future heirs. Knights of God revealed, we now witness the Knights of God gathered to protect the celestial dragons. A panel in chapter 1096 has been expanded into a full page, revealing the 6 members of the order. Figureland Garling is undoubtedly their leader, alongside Shepherd Summers and the Man-Meyer woman. Gunko is not among them, but serves as an overseer. 2 new members are introduced. The first is a massive creature resembling a yeti with horns and wings. The second is a large woman with horns, sharp fangs, and messy black and white hair. She wears sunglasses and smokes a cigar. This woman bears a striking resemblance to Killingham, but their relationship remains uncertain. The chaos intensifies as Garp's fleet arrives, with Garp unleashing cannonballs at the pirates. Editor's note: the legends have gathered. Next week, One Piece will take a break. This means we won't witness the actual battle, but we've spent all this time building suspense and setting up the conflict.